Hey, this is Dr. Carmen Bryan. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Thank you guys so much for being patient. I wasn't able to come on yesterday, and today is the 21st of August, 2019. So thank you guys for waiting for me. Thank you so much for your support and all the new subscribers. So today I wanted to answer one of the viewers' questions. Normally I have so many questions I try to go through, but this is very relevant because myself, I am a therapist, and the question was, well, not really a question, but the statement was, can I talk a little bit about narcissists within the mental health arena? And so, as you guys know, narcissists are almost in every place. It's like an epidemic. They're everywhere, especially in positions of power where they have the opportunity to influence your life, the legal system, anything that can affect you, your mind, your health. You find them in the Department of Social and Health Services, or Social Services, whatever you call in your state, where they have access to children, or they have, especially within a CPS or within the legal system, where they have access to the laws and can take the laws and make the laws whatever they want to, in the medical arena, where they have access to your medical files and they can say, and they can act as God, that's why a lot of times there's so many atheists within the medical arena. I've heard that many a times because a lot of things is based on science. And so, the doctors are very skilled and equipped to do what they have to do in order to save your lives. And so it becomes, I did this for you, as fuel. And in the mental health arena, you go into the mental health arena, think about it. Most clients that come into mental health are people that are very vulnerable, very broken, very hurt. They're looking for answers. They're looking to heal. A lot of them have been traumatized. A lot of them have been manipulated. And so they come into this place where they're depending on this individual that has knowledge and understanding of how the mind works, how emotions work. And they do the exact same things that are done by those in intimate relationships, whether it's family or children or relatives or loved ones or partners. They do the exact same thing. The gaslighting, the trauma bonding, the love bombing. The love bombing may look a little different within the therapeutic arena. You come in, our responsibility is to build a rapport with you. And think about it, you're going in and you're opening your whole soul up to an individual that you're getting to know. You're telling them intimate, personal details about your life. I mean, details where the therapist really knows a lot about you that other people don't know. And you're trusting this individual and believing that by the ethics and the laws in that state, that they will, they handle you, what's the word? I want to say fragile, but they handle you with care. It is you don't harm clients. Some people call them patients. We call them clients. But we have a do no harm contract. And we are under strict ethical codes to make sure that we don't hurt a person or cause more damage, especially people that are already emotionally or mentally damaged. You have to be very cautious at how you handle them, because there are people that need someone to rescue them. And so therapists are in a position where they appear to be the rescuers. They give the information. They can watch how your mind starts to change and how you begin to flourish and you feel good about yourself. And those that are in the mental health arena that have narcissistic personality disorder get fuel from that, because in their mind, I did that. I made you think like that. I made you act like that. And so the love bombing may be the fact that they're encouraging you. And when you walk out, you're on cloud 9. Remember how you got into a relationship with a narcissist? Everything is so wonderful and it's so great. You see, and one of the things that I always tell clients when they come to see me, right now, you may think I'm the most wonderful thing in the world, but I'm telling you now, when you have to deal with hard issues and you're not going to get your way, because some people try to control the therapist. That is a dynamic that happens in therapy as well. Sometimes, when you have clientele that have been abused and have been misused, a lot of times people that are, therapists that are not narcissists, they do come in and try to control the therapist. And and they come in with ulterior motives. There are things that they want. They want Social Security. There's certain things that they want from that therapist. And so they will manipulate the therapist. And the therapist is supposed to be model and an example of a healthy individual. Not all of it, we all have issues, but we're the model. We're supposed to be a model of healthy relationships and healthy boundaries, and I'm not going to allow you to cross my boundaries, nor am I going to allow you to control me. And to be able to sit and teach, we're great. We're supposed to be great teachers, to teach boundaries, to teach, I'm not going to allow, that controlling behavior. I feel uncomfortable with that, to be able to express our emotions. Well, a therapist with narcissistic personality disorder, their whole focus is to get you to trust them. Now, some people are not, especially a lot of you that come out of these relationships, are not comfortable with making decisions on your own. You have been so dependent on a narcissist to tell you how you look, how you're supposed to act, whether you're smart, whether you're not smart. That's a dumb decision. That's and you depend solely on what they say. So you come into counseling and then you depend on the therapist to tell you how to live your everyday life. And you get angry a lot of times. Not everybody get angry because the therapist won't do it, because the therapist is trying to teach you how to be confident and making your own decisions. And so when you have a therapist in which you come in and they don't validate your feelings or validate your emotions, not saying that you run over them, because some people can confuse a strong therapist that has boundaries with a narcissist, and that's not always the case. But when they have strong boundaries and they're teaching you and you don't like what they're saying and you want something, there are people that come in for all sorts of reasons. They want to date you, and so they want to cross boundaries. They want to call you over the weekend. They want to call you all night. Everything that they do, they're contacting the therapist and asking therapists, what do you think? Can you call me? I need to ask you a question after hours. And so the therapist has to maintain boundaries, healthy boundaries. These are the hours that you can contact me. If I, leave a message or email me, I will contact you in between sessions, or, we'll make an additional session if you need to come in. If you're in a crisis, this is the number that you call. And so for those that have narcissistic personality disorder, their whole goal is to get you solely and totally dependent on them. They even establish friendships outside of the therapeutic setting. When you begin to grow and you become more confident and you start making decisions outside of what the therapist may have said or recommended, there's no reason why the therapist should get upset. This is your thoughts. They give you tools and you make decisions on your own. Just because something worked for the therapist doesn't mean it's going to work for you, or if it worked for another individual, it may not work for you. So we put tools and ideas out there so you can create and we give you pros and cons. But when you get to a point where you're solely dependent, that is not what we're taught. We're not taught to have the client solely dependent on the therapist. The goal is to help you to be independent and autonomous so that you can make healthy decisions and feel confident about the decision and feel confident when you make mistakes. Not where you're solely dependent on the verification, on the tap on the back or the pat on the head by the therapist. And then when you feel like you're being more harmed in counseling, then you feel like you're being helped, you feel worse. There's a difference between, a lot of times you have to bring up traumatic events. So of course, as I tell people, it's like entering into surgery. Something is really hurting. We have to open it up and we have to clean out that, festering wound. And sometimes that causes a little more injury. And so I don't try to let people leave out of my office in that mode. I may take the last ending of the counseling session to talk about lighter things, or to make you laugh, so that you can leave out and you feel like you've accomplished something. You may have to meditate. A lot of times you have to meditate and kind of absorb what has come out and things that have come out that you've never talked to anybody about. And so, but by the time, a few days, that should settle down and you feel a little better. But when you leave out of a therapist's office and you feel more wounded than you felt helped, you feel less confident, you feel like the therapist is attacking you, you feel just as dumb as you felt before when you were with the narcissist, and you come into the therapist's office and you starting to notice that they're doing the same thing that the abusers were doing. They were gaslighting, they're laughing at you, they're making you feel stupid. Everything that you say, they have to, that's stupid, or my opinion matters, it's what I say, and you start noticing that it's controlling, so they need to control you. That is unhealthy. Those are red flags. You have to pick up on the red flags. Something is not right. This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel comfortable. I feel more hurt. I feel more damaged. Why can't I make my own decisions? Why is it only what you say? Because I'm not like you and you're not like me. It's not just what I say. Well, what would you do? It's not a matter of what would I do. Will work for me, may not work for you. These are some of the things, the ideas or the tools that I can give you. But yes, in the counseling arena, I have seen so many clients come in here after being with a counselor that has narcissistic personality disorder, and they're more traumatized than they were before they went. And a lot of times you can't even get to the original trauma because they're traumatized by, and all they're thinking about is the last therapist and how much damage that this, that's why, if you get into the mental health field, you can't get in the mental health field in order to resolve your issues. Your issues have to be resolved with your own personal therapist. That's why it's good for a therapist to have a therapist, because you can't harm people that are fragile when they're coming into the office. And a narcissist understands that. A therapist that is a narcissist understands how fragile the human mind is and how easy it is to manipulate a person. If you really think about it, when you're talking about cognitive behavior therapy or different models of therapeutic approaches, changing the cognitions or changing your thoughts to change the behavior. If you think about it, you're actually manipulating. You're manipulating the thoughts, and you're doing it in a healthy manipulation. You're manipulating the thoughts. You're making the person think differently. You're presenting information. It's the same thing that I do on here. I present information to make you think different about it, manipulating information, and so that's a healthy, but a therapist understands the theory because it's called, for some, is the master of arts or the master of science, because it is an art form to go in and to be able to create and to help people develop and create. But a therapist, and I'm not saying that all narcissists understand it, because you have some, and I have seen this too, that are overt on the lower end of narcissism, where they've lost their private practice, they've lost their license because they were dealing with people that are not as weak as they assume that they are. And some therapists think that everybody's weak. It's not that they're weak, it's that they're hurt. They're emotionally hurt, but they're strong individuals. And what ended up happening was a lot of them ended up having malpractice lawsuits, and ended up losing their license and their private practice or businesses, or were fired. So don't underestimate your strength. When you go in with a therapist, the therapist should be able to tell you your strength and help you to be autonomous, to help you think for yourself, to encourage you to be independent and feel strong to a point where you don't need the therapist anymore, just like you may not need the videos anymore. That's what the therapists are there. They help you, they partner with you to move you forward. They're not there to dominate you. They're not there to control you. They're not there to tell you what you should and shouldn't do and that it's stupid the way you did it. No, because when you make mistakes, when you come into your therapist, the therapist should be able to tell you, everybody makes mistakes. How are you going to recover from this? What are some of the things that you can do? Here are some of the ideas, and then it's up to you to go implement it. It's just like weight loss. You get the tools, it's up to you to implement it. Your healing depends on you. Even when you go in, you learn the red flags, and you're learning them from these videos, meaning that when you go into therapy, is your right to ask questions. Why did you say that? Or, you're learning how to communicate again. And the narcissist has taken the right away for you to communicate and ask questions. What I say goes, and you don't ask questions. So a lot of people are afraid to even ask therapist questions. If a therapist doesn't allow you to ask questions, then we're not very good at what we do. You should be able to ask questions. Why did you say that? What is your rationale behind that? What can you explain to me? If you feel dumb by the time you leave out of a therapist's office, then you might want to question the therapist that you're with. But a therapist should be able to talk. It's called psychoeducation. Psychological education. Let me teach you. This is why I said what I said. This is what I was thinking. What do you think? Because you're the expert at yourself. You. A lot of times you don't understand the trauma you've been through. You may not understand the behavior that you're displaying, or some of the things that as a trauma, how you think, but you should be able to get information where you're like, oh, I never thought about that. But a therapist should never try to make you dependent on them. They should never be abusing you inside of a therapeutic session. They should never make you feel like you're less than they are, because we're only as smart as you are. We have the education, but each individual is different. And so I'm only as smart as the person that comes in. If you don't understand, then I did not do my job. If I don't understand, then I need to be asking more questions. And the more questions we ask each other, the more you learn from each other. We're not here to tell you what to do and how to do it unless you ask some questions, and we'll give you, but now what are you going to do? This is your decision. How are you going to do it? So you should never feel like you're being controlled or dehumanized, or you feel the same way you felt like when you were in a relationship with a narcissist. But also, it's not your responsibility to come in and try to control the therapist. You want something and you want it, so you're going to manipulate the therapist in order to get what you want. And even if they tell you, I don't think that's a very good idea, Or let me tell you why I don't think that's a good idea. Or maybe you need to, maybe you don't need to do that because, that's not my level of expertise. Or a lot of times people want me to do, I don't counsel children. My expertise is more 18 years and older. So children, I can give you basic information and I understand certain information, but to do therapy one-on-one with a child is usually not my area of expertise. I can give you a lot of information and good educational and educational, and because I have to use that information when I'm learning about clients that what happened in childhood for you to have developed like this. But to deal one-on-one with children, sometimes people want to force me into seeing children. Well, I know my boundaries, I know my limitations, and I won't do it. Likewise, when you go to a therapist, you know your limitations, you know your boundaries, and some of you don't. But if you feel hurt, if you feel more abused, then that may not be the therapist you need. You may need to get a second opinion, and it's your right to choose a therapist that fits your needs. So hopefully this has helped you. Hopefully that answered your question. It was kind of a statement. Hopefully that answered that kind of give you more light on that statement. But you're more powerful than you think you are. And I'm thankful that you asked that question and wanted me to elaborate, because that is the field that I work in. And I thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please, if you have not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. I also have 2 Facebook pages. One is my book, which is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, and the other one is my professional Facebook page, which is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. Hit the thumbs up. And make sure you hit the subscribe and the bell on the YouTube channel so you know whenever I upload videos. I also have a book. It's called Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. You can find it on Barnes & Noble, or you can find it on Amazon. You can get it in your hand, or you can do ebook, or you can do Kindle. And so thank you guys so much. If you look underneath the links in the YouTube, you will also find the links to the books. You will also find the sponsor. I have a sponsor, which is betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. And for those of you that are looking for therapists in your area, this is online counseling with licensed counselors. You can put in your paperwork and you can vet and look for counselors that fit your need. Some of them don't understand the terminology when it comes to narcissist abuse recovery, but look for psychological abuse. You can look for trauma professionals. You can look for those that understand the effects of domestic violence. That's what you're looking for. And so hopefully that'll help. It is a low fee. It's a nominal fee. Low fee is less expensive than coaching, but you pay a fee, and then that is the fee you pay on a monthly basis for you to get counseling as you need. And so thank you guys once again for being here with me. Also, those of you that have asked for to donate, I do have a Cash App and PayPal up underneath the link on the YouTube channel. And so once again, thank you guys so much for being here with me, and you guys have a wonderful day and go be great.